Hi, this is part two of the three parts of the tutorial for how to do your summative final task for American Society 2. So what I have on the screen right now is what you should locate. Last week, we worked on filling in the notes for the century stormy weather, which talked about the Depression and the New Deal. This breakdown was almost completed. In classroom, part three of the YouTube clips that I was showing are actually part of this stream. Your job is to open up part three and watch the final 8 minutes of the century stormy weather and finish filling out questions 18 through 20. The reason why you're doing that is you're going to use these specs as part of your analysis for your writing prompt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you which question combinations should go together to form your specs as one spec set for this prompt. I would have a piece of paper and a pen to write this down. First, question one is not allowed to be used because that is what I use for my model. We did this one together in class as notes, and I also used it as part of my own model for my part three of this summative tutorial. So you cannot use one as part of your spec sets. So you'll actually start at question two and go all the way through 20. So here's how it's going to work. Question two is its own specs. So once again, what you're writing down are what the numbers of questions that go together to form one spec set. So question two would form one spec set. 3 and 4 form one spec set. Questions 5 and 19 form one spec set. Question 6 is its own spec set. Question 7 forms its own spec set. 8, I would not use it as a specs. It's too vague. 9 through 12 form one spec set. Questions 13, 14 form one spec set. Questions 15 forms a specs. Questions 16 and 17 form a specs. Questions 18 and 20 form a specs. And once again, 5 and 19 form a specs. So what I mean by those question combinations is when you go to do your specific examples for your writing prompt, the numbers that I just listed off will form one specs. So my question one has 3 bullets. I would need to include all 3 bullets as part of my specs, which you'll actually see that I did. If you decide to use 3 and 4, all of those questions and notes need to be put together in a well-developed specs. And remember, a specs is a detailed statement that would say, for instance, you wouldn't just say banks closed in the Depression. That's not a specs. That's a vague fact. A specs would be 1 year after the Depression, 800 banks failed, $9 million in savings was wiped out, 1,000 banks closed completely. People lost, tens of thousands of Americans lost their savings and had to sell cars, wedding. Notice how I'm taking the facts and putting them into well-developed sentences. That are the specs that I'm looking for. So off to the side, you actually classified types of opportunity. So when you finish the notes, you want to go back and you want to ask yourselves, how do disasters impact American opportunity? Our disaster is the Great Depression, and our specs are telling us different types of opportunity that are being impacted either in positive or negative way. So if you decide to use 3 and 4, the first question you ask yourself is it positive or negative? Write that off to the side. What kind of opportunity is being impacted? Take out that list that we did day 2 of class. Is it economic? Is it political? Is it social? Write it down. And that will help you with your analysis. You could also write a little statement of how is it a negative economic opportunity loss? If you write that off to the side, you're actually working on your analysis statement. Okay, so that's how to use the movie notes for the project. Please let me know if you have any questions. Once again, this is part 2 of 3. The last part will show you a specific model for how you should set it up in your outline. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.